Welcome to Digital Transformers, the show that connects you with what you need to build, manage, and operate your digital supply chain. Join your host in a timely discussion on new and future business models with industry-leading executives. The show will reveal global customer expectations, real-world deployment challenges, and the value of advanced business technologies like artificial intelligence, blockchain, and robotic process engineering. And now, we bring you Digital Transformers.
Hello, everyone. It's Kevin Jackson, host of Digital Transformers. And today, we're going to talk about digital transformation when it comes to ERP, a very important aspect of just about any organization. And I'm here with Leonardo De Araujo. Is that correct, Leonardo? I did that good?
You did a good job, yeah.
Thank you very much. And I guess you're up in Montreal today. Is that correct?
Correct. Montreal, Canada.
Well, I tell you, digital transformation is all the rage. And ERP, along with supply chain, really became a very important part of everybody's vernacular over the past few years. I guess you have done a lot to help people get over this recent hump. So you're with Beyond Technologies, is that correct?
That's correct.
So tell us a bit about your company and what do you do?
Yeah, so Beyond Technologies was founded in 2005, 13 years now. 13?
Yeah.
18 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, 18 years now.
Time flies, huh?
Time flies, yeah. I got caught up in that. So if we're founded in 2005, it was a group of ex-SAP professionals decided to join forces and help customers go through SAP transformation projects. With time, we became SAP partners. Later, we even became SAP customers. And today we are over 430 employees in 5 countries. We are in Canada, US, France, South Africa, and Morocco.
Wow, you've grown very quickly. So what is your role there at Beyond Technologies? You said you are all ex-SAPers?
Yeah, we're all hands-on. My background, my role in Beyond is CTO and also CISO, so Chief Information Security Officer. But on the practical side, on the operations, really, I run the TCS, the Technical Consulting Service. All the technical folks, the technical consultants, are under my organization, so the developers pretty much are all with me.
Well, how did you get to Beyond Technologies? I guess the more important is how did you get at SAP that prepared you for your role there at Beyond Technologies? Are you native from Canada or,
Yeah, so if you're ready for a little journey here, I started working with SAP a very long time ago, in 97, in Brazil. I'm originally from Brazil.
Oh, okay.
And I studied business management. I was a logistics transportation analyst and executive. I was buying transportation services, and that company decided to implement SAP, and they brought me in as a business analyst. With time, I got into the functional role, configuring the transportation module and sales and distribution. But I had always an interest on the technical side, so I got my hands dirty into the technical, into the coding, and I did a transition. And by the time the Beyond Technologies was formed, I was already playing the role of architect because I could be on both functional and technical side, and that was quite valuable for projects.
I tell you, you touched on one of my fantasies. I still have a fantasy. It's a lifelong fantasy to go to Rio de Janeiro for Mardi Gras. So Carnival, I guess that's the best way to say it.
There is only one risk: is that you go, you maybe not coming back, because that is a nice place to be.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
going to have to talk to you about more about that off camera. But so you've been doing SAP and ERP for a very long time. That has prepared you well for your current role. So when you have been with Beyond Technologies from its very beginning.
Yeah, I was one of the founders.
So what was your business model?
Projects that were taking a very long time, and we were thinking things could be simpler, things could be leaner, things could be more, it would be faster. So we came in the very first project we took in as Beyond Technologies. We implemented across the board from HR, finance, procurement, production, transportation for a mining company. And we're able to do that in a fraction of a cost of the typical implementation projects. So we kind of distinguished ourselves at that point, from other consulting practices, because we wanted to be nimble with a different approach. And I think we will have probably the opportunity to talk about methodology, because we come up with a different way of looking at implementation to try to drive value above all.
So I guess you do focus on companies that already have deployed SAP, or do you help companies that basically don't have ERP or other ERP products and services, like greenfield companies?
Yeah, actually, we're present in both sides. So we call the custom base of SAP customers that are running. They are in very different levels of advancement in their journey. They're either at the beginning having problems, they are needing upgrades or migrations, they need help, or new functionality they need to bring in. But we have also the privilege to work with greenfield. So we are a reseller and a channel partner of SAP. So we're selling to customers that are reaching the level in where they need a software like SAP. And then we participate in RFP cycles. We position SAP against other software. We win, thankfully, more often than not. But we go to that cycle positioning SAP, and then we go to the cycle implementing and driving value for new customers. And it's very different. And I make that distinction because customers that we see often run SAP, they know SAP, they are educated, and they have already a footprint. The other ones, the white canvas, is the art of possible, and they're starting from zero. So they have to educate, have to bring value quickly. But it's very satisfying because we get net new customers.
So I guess you deliver a lot of different types of value to your customers. But one of the most recent, trends over the past few years is this digital transformation. Many people may call it just, a buzzword, but from your customer's point of view, do they ever come to you and say, "We just want to digitally transform"? Tell us what that means, and well, tell us, what does that mean to your customers and to you?
Yeah, it's funny you ask that, because it's so true, and it's so vast, and we put in this umbrella of digital transformation. But what does it really mean? And we see clearly a common denominator, that customers struggle to have return on investment. They struggle to drive innovation. They tend to get stuck with problems on day to day and technicalities, and customers that went through the first hump of putting that ERP in place, and then, oh my God, just to maintain it, it's heavy. So I think drive value, support growth, because at the end, you cannot lose sight that you put an ERP in place to support a business to run. So the business cannot be affected by IT. It has to be supported by it. It has to be supported by the tools you're putting in place. I think that is where the value is, and the transformation comes in when we start really reaping benefit from all that investment.
So part of digital transformation is actually understanding data and how to leverage it and how to use it both within the organization and with the customers and business partners. And ERP really plays an important role in that. What is the journey from paper and pencil to a digitally transformed organization?
Yeah, in our methodology, to not lose sight of the value that we want to drive and return on that investment, we adopt something that I think touches what you just said, that is a capability map exercise that we wanted to evaluate by line of operations in a certain company. Where is the customer? Is the customer still process not documented, not followed, not structured, or is it documented, structured, but not followed? Is it supported by tools? It is world class? Is it defining that? We do it by domain, and what we find often is nobody is an expert in everything. Nobody is a beginner in anything. So in some areas, customers are super mature. In some areas, less. But understanding where they are, you can drive and you can draw the line where do you want to go from. It's not realistic to get somebody that is on paper, pen and paper, and implement a super sophisticated replenishment process that is AI driven. Maybe it's too much for that customer in one jump. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're going to have to plan a couple of incremental steps. But the expectations are there for areas where the maturity is there too. So you gotta go even within the customer, do the assessment to see where the customer is in the different domains.
Yeah, it sounds like you kind of become a trusted advisor to the customer. But even as that, you said before that you actually compare and contrast other products and services. So you really deliver a consultative service. But so please explain your relationship with SAP. You said you are a reseller and you all come from SAP. What make you so, why are you a SAP partner? What is unique about SAP and their capabilities? I mean, they've been around for a long time, of course, but that doesn't mean they're right for every customer.
Yeah. So SAP came into my life, into my career in 97, and I was privileged to be dealing with SAP because I got to learn and discover it. We're really ambassadors of the product because we understand its capability. And I think if there's anybody that could bring into light, some challenges of projects, right? And it's not SAP projects, I'm saying projects, it is due to the scope of what you're trying to put in place. So I think if you look at trying to accomplish things and look at functionality, net, and maturity of a product, nothing compares to SAP. And I'm super happy to be a professional in that domain, helping customers take the most out of that. So we started working with SAP as independent or consultancy in other consulting firms. And we decided to join forces and build a practice. And we're doing that, working as a team, helping customers implement and drive value. At one point, we said we are reaching a point where, in our maturity, reaching a point where we should become a channel partner, a value-added reseller, and start reselling on top of. So that changes the game all completely because you're not doing only the implementation. You engage much earlier in lead generation, sales cycles, positioning, sales, and so on. But it was the natural evolution for us, and we went through that path. That has been a while and is successful. What happened 8 years now? 8 years now is that, no, even more, 9 years, is that we decided to walk the talk and stop saying that SAP is the best product for you, Mr. Customer. Well, why not run it as a customer ourselves?
Oh, I see.
So in 2015, we embarked on the very first SAP ERP offer, SAP ERP SaaS offer that was business that is business by design, but we quickly grew over the capabilities of the platform, and SAP invested a lot on S/4HANA Cloud Public. So we've been running S/4HANA Public Cloud, the flagship of SAP, since 2017, and it's interesting because yesterday I was doing the analysis with a friend. We say that the best scenario is when a customer is running S4 or an ERP SaaS, and the company that you're paying for is innovating for you, and you're just getting the innovation automatically. It is an end state. For us, it's our reality. We've gone through 20 upgrades since 2017. So we are partners and we are SAP customers, and we're super happy with it.
So you brought up S/4HANA. I mean, that in and of itself was a huge transition for SAP, taking this traditionally on-premise application, and now telling everyone, okay, we're going to deliver it from the cloud. And this is when people were very much afraid of the cloud. So tell us a bit more about your journey as you went into S/4HANA. How did SAP guide you? And I guess by extension, how does it help you guide your customers through this digital transformation journey to the cloud?
Yeah, I think the transition to cloud it has been for SAP disruptive because it was addressing many different things, from subscription model, from commercial models, to product, to SaaS, to hyperscalers. There's so many things that I think customers had a little bit hard time understanding, and that's our role to kind of help educate. And I think with time, the message is definitely getting there. But for us as customers, we've had, and that's my role of the CTO from the very beginning of the company. We said we're not even going to try to run servers. We're never going to. If you don't need to, we're not going to be managing applications if we don't need to. We need to be consultants. We need to focus on our business. So, for example, we adopted Google Workspace from the very get-go. We were cloud first for everything. So when we came up with S/4HANA Cloud Public, we're naturally a good fit. And we're like, I'm not trying to customize anything. Give me something out of the box and I'll run with that. So it was easier for us. But for our customers, as you're saying at the beginning, that challenge definitely is there. There's this discussion of, where is my data? Oh, not at the data center. It is hosted somewhere. Where is it? And it's not. They're not hurdles that they make things difficult. Right. It's just it's education, right? We were discussing 10 years ago. With customers saying, don't run the data center on your data center in the building. Abstract that and get infrastructure as a service and use hyperscalers. At the time, there was resistance. The resistance is not the same today. Now we're saying, let them manage the system for you on top. That, okay, the message is passing easier. The discussion of multi-tenancy is another level. So it's a journey, but I think looking back, right, 10 years, customers are definitely getting the message. And why would you have resources on your team managing a system or operating servers if you don't need to?
You know, you brought up one thing. You said your company itself was using S/4HANA in public cloud, and you were using Google. But there are many companies that by plan or by accident wind up consuming services from multiple clouds, and they may still keep a data center. So they get into this multi-cloud or hybrid IT environment. And I guess with ERP, since you're working with many partners as well, this becomes an issue. So what about S4 HANA in this hybrid environment? How does that work?
I think the way you're looking at this is the options are there, right? I think there is a vision for ideally customers should look at first to see if there is an SaaS ERP that does everything they need, completely multi-tenant. They'll be the cheapest, they'll be the quickest. It will not be a fit for most customers, but is a reflex I think everybody would look to. And then what is my option after that? And then you can, I can maybe have that on my own tenant. I have more freedom, but let's SAP run that. Well, you still want it to run on your own premise. You still could do it today. I think the options exist. And that reflection, I'm talking about SAP only, but happens for all the other systems that you may have. So yeah, this multi-cloud scenario, it is one of the challenges today because in a very long time ago when we're dealing with R3, there was the only thing you had. There was all the modules are inside. Now you're talking about very highly integrated systems across the internet and this multi-cloud reality is probably where we on the technical side spend quite a bit of time helping customers and guiding them.
So, what's your recommendation to companies that are dealing with this and where ERP digital transformation is through the front windshield, not in the rear view mirror, where they're trying to, think about their options. Should we jump into the cloud? Should we do this or should we not?
Yeah. We've developed this methodology for implementation, and one of the things around this methodology is to make sure that everything around the project is tied up to a business driver. So at the very beginning, very important to take a step back and what is the problem I'm trying to address? And then the discussions technically, if I go cloud, no cloud, I do this, I build this solution, I use a standard, all tied up to a point to one of this. If they don't tie it up to one of those, maybe we're spending time discussing the wrong thing. So I think the discussion of the cloud is definitely a valid one, and I would recommend. So it is important that we take this step back and think a little bit long term. Right. And in this thinking of long term, tied up everything around business drivers. I want to make sure that I can continue growing. I am very efficient in these areas, and I guess helps a lot frame what you need to accomplish.
Wow, you are a wealth of knowledge. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us about this journey because it's very important to just about every organization, be it small or large. So as we come to a close here, how could the audience learn more about Beyond Technologies and the value that you really do deliver?
Yeah, sure. So can check on our website, beyondtechnologies.com, and there you can branch into our tweet feed, Facebook, LinkedIn. We post regularly white papers. We have one case where we just rolled out a customer on the public cloud from SAP in 10 weeks. So imagine from the very beginning, project starts, you start transacting on it 10 weeks. Now there are customers that they're not even finishing the discovery phase in that time frame. Wow. when we did the whole project, right? And also looking at our industry expertise because we're very focused on retail, but some other industries too. So there are quite a few white papers and blogs available to talk about our approach, some more success stories, and the areas of coverage. But But reach out to us. We're definitely there to help.
Well, thank you very much. Are you on LinkedIn? Somebody may want to reach out directly to you. Is that the best way?
Yeah, definitely. Provide links.
We'll provide those links.
And again, sure, please do.
Okay, well, thank you, Leonardo, for the time and the vision that you provide.
No, you're welcome.
So in closing, I would like to wish everyone a safe and prosperous and transformational future. So we will have our next SAP interview to delve even further into the value of digital transformation with SAP. So we'll see you next time on Digital Transformers. Thank you very much.
Thank you for supporting Digital Transformers and for being a part of our global Supply Chain Now community. Please check out all of our programming at supplychainnow.com. Make sure you subscribe to Digital Transformers anywhere you listen to or view the show, and follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next time on Digital Transformers.